to our channel. Today we are going to be cooking up for you guys 2 different easy on-the-go snack ideas. Our first is going to be energy balls, and we're going to be making 2 different flavors of them. Shelby's going to be making for you guys some chocolate peanut butter ones, and I'm going to be making some cinnamon craisin cookie butter ones. Second snack idea is actually going to be a breakfast bar, a banana oat bar for you guys. It'll be nice, quick, and easy. You can make it on Sunday for the rest of the week if you're up early in the morning before work, or maybe take it to the gym with you in the morning before you go. So to start off, we're going to do the oat bars. You want to first preheat your oven to 350. And then we're going to start off with just the oats. I've got our Ninja here. We're going to blend them. You don't have to buy oat flour at the store. You can just take regular oats, add them to the blender, and blend, and it turns into oat flour. So what you need is a cup and a half. We actually don't have a cup, so I'm going to do 3 of these and then blend them. And after they're done blending, we're going to add in a 1/3 cup of maple syrup. If you don't have maple syrup, I'm sure you could use agave nectar, or if you're not a vegan, you could use some honey in there. All would taste the same. We are back with the breakfast bars. We just took the crust out of the oven. It is nice and firm. You have to let it rest for about 15 minutes to cool down before we add the toppings. So we're going to start off with 2 ripe bananas, and we are going to blend them in the food processor until they're like a puree. After that's done, we're going to add our toppings, which pretty much can be anything you choose. You could add shredded coconut, some different kinds of nuts, maybe the craisins, maybe raisins, whatever your preference is. We're gonna go chocolate peanut butter. If you can't tell, we like chocolate and peanut butter. So we've got our Enjoy Life mini chocolate chips again, peanut butter, and then we're gonna add a little crunch with some Trader Joe's low-fat granola. Have pureed. We are gonna take them out, and it literally is ooey gooey. So once you have that, we're gonna just pour it into the crust. Make sure you get all of it out. Wow, that smells really good. Kind of looks like a smoothie. It does, but it's just bananas. Nothing else. Nice and simple. Okay. She knows the peanut butter's coming, apparently. I think she likes bananas just as much as peanut butter. So I'm just going to spread that on top of the crust. Hurry up. So once you have the bananas on top of the crust, we are going to add our toppings. So we're going to start with the peanut butter, and we're not actually going to measure this. It's nice and creamy, so we're just going to take some on a spoon and we're going to drizzle it on top. Yeah, put some music or something. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to add our other 2 toppings. We're going to do a 1/3 cup of both the chocolate chips and the granola. Once again, you can do more or less. You might actually do a little less than 1/3 of a cup. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so that was a 1/3 cup. That is what's left over. So you do not need that much, apparently. Sounded good in our heads. Who doesn't want a 1/3 cup of chocolate? So once the chocolate is on top, we're just gonna add a 1/4 cup of granola and just sprinkle that right over. So a 1/4 cup of granola sounded good at the time. Also, I'm pretty sure that was like a tablespoon. It's really fine granola, so it's kind of like cereal granola, so it's not chunky. So we're gonna go with the tablespoon. We'll put the recipe below with the right measurements, so don't follow this. Once that's done, we are gonna throw it back in the oven for 40 minutes at 350 again. and then take it out. We're gonna cut it into squares, and then we're gonna throw it in the freezer either for like 30 minutes, or you can just refrigerate it overnight depending on how quick you want it.
I'll be using a chocolate protein. It's casein and whey. You can use whatever kind of protein you have on hand. I'm gonna have cashews, half a cup, some Enjoy Life mini chocolate chips, peanut butter, and dates. And that's all. So first I'm just gonna blend the dates in a food processor. So once the dates start to form a ball, I'm going to add my ingredients. I'm going to go with 1/4 cup of peanut butter. She loves peanut butter. So I got my 1/4 cup of peanut butter in there. I'm going to do a half a cup of cashews, 2 scoops of chocolate protein, and I'm going to blend that. So once that all comes together, then I will be adding my chocolate chips, just so I don't get them into even smaller pieces because they're already mini. So I just blended it. My batter is still pretty dry, so I'm just gonna add, it should be about 2 tablespoons. It's gonna be coconut milk. You can use milk or water, whichever you prefer. So I'll turn the food processor back on and add a tablespoon at a time until my dough forms a ball. So after I added the milk, my dough turned out like...
Sorry guys.
My dog's on the counter.
Come on.
She has manners. Anyway, so once I added the milk, the dough turned out, and it should, once you press it together with your fingers, it should be like this. Doesn't really focus, but it comes together. So now I'm gonna take the blade out, so I don't cut my fingers. Take the blade out, and I will be adding 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. You can add more or less, whichever you prefer, or leave them out, doesn't matter. I think it adds a good taste. So 1/4 cup. Okay, we'll take it off the machine, and I'm just gonna mix the chocolate chips in. So once the chocolate chips are all nicely stirred in, I have a baking sheet just lined with parchment paper. I will take a tablespoon measurement. You don't need to measure them if you don't want to. And I'll just scoop out the dough. Nice and easy. Roll them into my hands. And there you have it. An energy bite.
Okay, so now that Shelby is all done rolling up her energy balls, I'm going to get started on mine. Cleaned out the food processor, got all of her remnants out. I'm going to start with the rest of the dates. I'm going to do the same thing she did, throw them all into the food processor and blend until they form a ball. Now that is done, I'm going to be adding in my protein, my Biscoff, and some cinnamon. So these are not only vegan, they are going to be nut-free. So that is why I'm using Biscoff. You can use any kind of nut butter you want if you're not allergic to nuts. But I figured for those that are, we have this option as well. So I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of my Biscoff. A little stickier than the peanut butter. And then, also not gonna lie, I'm visiting right now and I didn't bring all my protein with me, so we stopped at a grocery store the other day and I picked up Vegan Smart little protein packets. They're vanilla protein. I hope they taste good or this is gonna suck. I'm gonna use 2 of them. Same thing Shelby did, 2 scoops of protein. And just vanilla, like I said. If I could get this one open. And then I'm gonna add cinnamon, a nice heaping amount of cinnamon. Yes, I just said heaping. I lived in Australia for like 5 months and kind of took that one with me. And then the last ingredient for mine, besides the milk to thicken it up, is gonna be craisins, but I'm not gonna add them until all of this is blended, so they stay whole. Okay, so now that has formed a ball, I added the milk. And then I'm gonna add a ½ cup of the craisins and I'm gonna stir those in. Can't get this out, don't wanna cut myself. Oh yeah, nice and thick. It looks like cookie dough. I don't know if you guys can see that. Dropping it on the counter, that's good. Apparently Shelby's dog doesn't like this one as much because there's no peanut butter in it. That's it. Alright, so then I'm gonna mix those together and then I'm gonna form them into balls and put them on the parchment paper next to Shelby's. So that is all for today, guys. We finally finished up the breakfast bars. They are nice and solid. We're gonna cut them up, put them in a Tupperware, and store them in the fridge. Look how good they look. And same thing with our energy balls. We put them in the freezer for about 30 minutes. They're nice and solid. We're gonna throw those in a Tupperware and grab and go before we head to work in the morning.
So if you like this video, please let us know in the comments below. If you have any recipes you want us to make, also let us know in the comments below. Please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.
Thanks, guys. This is Babes and Barbells, signing off.